How can veterans improve their chances of getting approved for a VA loan? Let's get after it. Hey, VA Nation, Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans, powered by Stride Bank. And today we're going to cover the topic of how can veterans improve their chances for getting approved for a VA loan. And it's a really good question because there's a couple different things you can do. So let's kind of dive into this. First of all, if you have questions or if you'd like to talk more in depth about any topic subject to VA, give us a call at 855-956-4040. Of course, check us out on youtube.com/National VA Loans and click that subscribe button so you stay current with all the up-to-date information for VA home loans. Okay, so let's kind of get into this a little bit more in depth. How do we improve our chances as veterans? Now, we all know that you don't have to put a down payment down on a VA home loan. Everyone knows that. But the one place I would say we should look at starting is increasing credit score. You know, we've talked about in other videos that the minimum credit score is 580. That's the lowest you have, or you can go on with National VA Loans and Stride Bank is a 580 credit score. So everything gets better the higher up you go. The more a 780 credit score obviously is going to stand a better chance of getting approved than a 580 credit score. Those 200 points are a really big thing. So what I would do, if we're getting to the point of where we want to get to buy a home, we want to get pre-qualified for a home, what I would suggest doing is, number one, giving us a call, 855-956-4040. Let us take a look at everything and let's start running an application and look at the credit, because credit is a really important aspect of it. Now, if you don't want to have someone look at your credit and you don't want to talk to an expert on it, then what you can do is use some of the free services that are out there. I know the credit bureaus offer a couple of different services there. Now, if you do that and you see that your score is a little bit lower than what you expect, then now it's okay, well, how do I fix it? Well, knowing that the VA doesn't require a down payment on a VA home loan, you can use any of the funds that you've saved up. You can use some of those to pay down credit card debt or to pay down debt in general. Something that we've talked about in the past is high limits or high balances compared to your limits. So if you have a limit on a credit card of $5,000 and you have a balance of $4,900, obviously that's going to drag your score down just a little bit. So work on chipping those away and lowering those payments. Okay. If you have a credit card that's $500 and you use it every month, pay it off every month then and get it down to a zero balance. You might want to look and see when those credit cards report so you know when's the exact best time to have that paid off so it reports correctly and you get the score boost from it. Now, another thing that you can do is, again, take a look at your credit cards or your installment loans, but primarily credit cards, and see, okay, where am I setting for limit compared to balance? And if my limit's 5,000 and my balance is 4,900, then I'd reach out to those credit card companies and see if there's an opportunity to increase your balance or increase your limit, excuse me. And if you can increase that limit, obviously it increases that gap between balance and limit, which saves you, or which actually improves your credit score as well. So there's one of the biggest options you can do to help improve your chances. Obviously, there's multiple different ways to do this on your credit. One thing I would suggest though is a lot of times a lot of people are talking about the self-reported debt out there. So your water bill, your electric bill, think your rent right now if you're paying rent, things like that, and you self-report those and those go onto your credit bureau. Those really don't add a lot of credence as far as score goes. In fact, it really doesn't, not much. It doesn't add anything to the score. So I would avoid doing that unless you don't have any kind of credit at all. If you are a blank slate, or if you're just starting out and you have no credit, then maybe some self-reported stuff on there that shows a little bit of history that you've got would definitely help. But again, if you have questions on this, because I know it gets a little bit more in depth, give us a call, 855-956-4040. A couple other things you can do. Make sure that your rent's always paid on time if you're renting currently. Make sure that you do have some assets and reserves set aside. So whether it be 401k, whether it be just money set aside in the bank, whether it be, even cryptocurrency balances right now are a viable option to show as reserves. Every little bit of reserves helps. So, and when I say reserves, I mean, if you're going to have a new home or a house payment of say $2,000, maybe you have 6 months set in reserves, $10,000 to $12,000 sitting there. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to use it for the loan, but it does show that you have the reserves and the ability to save money. And then if something were to go bad, you've got 6 months worth of reserves in there to pay for that house payment, which is always a thing that strengthens your file when we're looking at it and when we run it through an underwriter or an automated underwriting system. All right. So just to kind of recap, examine your credit again. Give us a call, 855-956-4040. We'll be happy to take a look at anything when it comes to credit with you, help you devise a plan. Examine the credit, and then also set some reserves aside and make sure that you're staying up to date and current with all of your payments, whether it be rent, your current mortgage, or installment loans like cars, things like that, and definitely on any of your credit cards. Not saying you have to pay them off every month, but at least make the minimum payment on there so that you can ensure yourself a good, solid credit score. Guys, thank you for everything. If you have questions, check us out at youtube.com/national VA loans. Click that subscribe button. That's the way you're going to stay current with all the up-to-date information for VA home loans, whether it be purchases, refinances, or even different things that come out and about credit scores. Also, if you have questions, give us a call at 855-956-4040, 855-956-4040. Any of our VA specialists will be happy to answer any questions they can. Feel free to ask for me. I'm Jeff, and I'm always happy to take a call and see if what we can figure out for you. And if you're kind of proactive and you like to just kind of get stuff done, check out nationalapplynow.com. Download our simple, secure, easy application to your phone or tablet, and you'll be able to complete that right there, securely send it in, and one of our VA specialists will give you a call, go over all the different options you have available to you. Guys, until next time, thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you for your service. We appreciate everything, and take care of yourselves, and God bless.